rest of the game.
There was a buzzer going off if you were taking a shot like that, right? It was the end of a quarter. Time to hear from Coach J.J. Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
JJ, anything specific stand out about how the game kind of started and you weren't able to get going as a team?
Yeah, just not a lot to like tonight.
Where, you obviously had mentioned, right, you're going to emphasize that this happens sometimes when other teams are down. They find a way to rally around the flag. Did you feel some of that from the Hawks, or did you feel like this is more of your issue?
Oh, they brought the requisite level of effort and urgency and physicality.
We spoke about pregame about how you guys were in that position as the Hawks. We spoke about how much you guys have rallied and brought that energy. Is it even more disappointing to see it to kick off this road trip in that manner, considering you guys have done it so much to start?
Yeah, very disappointing.
Now, what's next? What's next? Is it kind of just you flush this one, or do you look at it after, or is it just let's just forget and move on to the next one?
No, we're going to look at it for sure.
Was there a moment in that third quarter that you realized that this was not going to be one of those nights where at least your first unit was going to get that?
I realized that in the first 2 minutes of the game.
What did you see in those first 2 minutes?
Nothing.
Thanks, Coach.
That is J.J. Redick right there. And you are a coach at any level. There are going to be nights after losses, especially in the NBA, James, when you got to go to the podium. There are going to be nights where you talk a lot because you have a lot to say, and there are going to be nights where you don't feel like it. Tonight's one of those nights, and hard to blame him.
Well, I mean,
Said he knew in the first 2 minutes.
I think a coach knows better than anybody that out of 82 games, you're going to have one. Win or lose, he may be still a little bit disappointed in how the team played, regardless of who was on the floor. But there were nights where there's nothing to say. We saw what happened, and so I guess he just wants to get on and move on to the next one. Looked a little disappointed in some things, but that's just the way it is some nights.
Yeah, I mean, what makes, in my opinion, what makes JJ really, really unique and fit for this particular job at this moment is like his obsessive personality around, like as an NBA player, I see a lot of similarities in like you're not uniquely gifted and talented in a way that a lot of other guys are. There's a gap between you and your better teammates. And the way you equalize that is just through like every single night. You find a way to bring max effort, max focus, attention to detail, game plan discipline, because that's the only way you can stay on the floor if you're not a top 75 guy. And I think his disappointment is coming from that there weren't enough guys that could find something tonight that would allow them to put that uniform on and really bring it. Not the win or loss, but that part is what, to me, frustrates and hurts him.
Yeah, well said. All right, Jake LaRavia with 13 points. He's at the podium.
JJ told us you could tell, within 2 minutes that it just didn't think the energy wasn't there, whatever you want to call it. Do you feel that on the floor, and do you feel like there's a reason you guys weren't able to find it like you have the previous several games?
Yeah, I mean, it's always up to that first group to come out and kind of set the tone, and I just don't think, we really did that today. We kind of came out and got punched in our mouth and didn't really have an answer for it. They just outplayed us at the end of the day. We struggled defensively. We had some turnovers that were, not very good, and they were scoring off the turnovers, which obviously doesn't help. At the end of the day, it's really just up to that first group that starts to come out and set the tone, and we just got to do a better job of that.
You understand these games do happen sometimes in the NBA, but do you still, do you hold yourself to a higher standard of it? Are you kind of eager for the next one? How do you make sure it doesn't happen again?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to learn from it and move on. You got to understand that, this isn't the identity of this team. This game was an outlier of, the first 10 games that we've played, and, yeah, just to not let it break us. We're just going to come right back the next game and be ready to play.
And then just for kind of find one specific thing, like defensively, was it the back line? Was the lack of help just with them getting downhill so much and getting in the paint? Why was that happening?
Yeah, this is just a team that cuts a lot off ball and just tries to get to the paint. And they had a really good shooting night the whole night, especially that first half. But yeah, team defensively and individually, we just weren't there.
Jake, in terms of like pregame energy, like did you feel something like this coming on, or was it just didn't show up in the first 2 minutes?
No, I mean I don't think we ever go into a game where we either we knew that they had guys out, but I don't think we're ever going into the game underestimating the team that we're playing against. We knew they were going to come out and play hard. Like we kind of knew what their game plan was going to be. We just didn't come out and execute what ours was supposed to be.
I know you guys have been really proud of the connection you guys have built so far in these types of games when things aren't going well very early. How do you try to lean on your teammates to figure something out, like find some sort of spark?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to communicate at the end of the day. This was a tough game. Like, again, this is kind of like just one of those games where the other team just kind of had it going, and we just couldn't find a way to kind of get over that hump. But when you find yourselves in these situations, you just can't let it break the team up and stop communicating with everyone. So you just got to communicate and make sure everyone stays locked in, which we didn't. But
Lakers kicked off their 5-game road trip with Atlanta. More reaction ahead. Access Sportsnet Lakers is brought to you in part by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times.
You got to double him. You cannot leave him one-on-one. Bryant for the lead. Misses. Gasol banks it in with 0.5 of a second remaining. Lakers by 1. Pau Gasol with the follow.
So Pau Gasol puts himself in position to get the easy putback. Big time play by Pau Gasol.
7 on the shot clock. Gasol tries to pump fake. Left hand. Oh, and he jams it left hand. Wow. That's good. Pau Gasol with his 13th point.
Chris, for a while, thought he was going to try to time it and block it, but the thing you forget about is he's a 7-footer.
Wallace on Gasol. Backs in, spins, fake. Shot. It's good. Gasol got it to go. Timeout Celtics. Lakers by 6 with a minute and a half to play. Italy C.J. Miles for a triple. They're chanting for tacos now. That's the only thing we're talking about. Look at that.